And I'm really sorry to hear about the passing of your mom.
Yeah, man, that was a biggie, bro. That was huge. Yeah, and
I'm sure she'd be so proud of you now.
yeah, she was always so worried about me, man. I mean, my dad and her, you know, of course, I took care of them during my run, and I was like, you know, they were constantly trying to get me, you know, to quit, you know, and they knew that, you know, that was part of it that I needed for some injuries and stuff, but they knew it had gotten out of hand, and you know, and how can they come talk to me? They work for me, you know. So my dad was like, what do I say to him? He goes to the gym every day. He looks phenomenal. His cars are oil changed and clean. His house is spotless, and we work for him. So they came at me with how much I was spending, and I never looked at it, Chris, never, because I knew I wasn't ready to stop, and I didn't want to be depressed about the amount of money I was spending. So I just shoved it away. I said, "No, I don't want to see it." But she would be so proud, and I wish she was here to see it, because it would be like beyond her. It'd be like out of her mind belief. Yeah. So I wish she would be here to see it. But talking about her for a minute, the second appearance I've made through all of this, Alaska was the first, and the second was in Canton, Georgia, this past week, and I didn't realize it until I was on the way. You don't even know this, but as I was on the way, I kept asking my agent / manager. I was like, "Hey, man," I said, "where's this place at again?" He said, "It's called Action." And I went. I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "Is it a church?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think it is." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "That's where my mother's funeral was."
No way.
The second signing I've been at is where my mom's funeral was less than a year ago.
Wow.
So I signed autographs in a building where my mom's funeral was. And I didn't know how to take it. It was kind of settling to me. It was like comfort a little bit. It wasn't like, oh my, now Jonna, my niece, was flipped and like, oh my God, how's Mark going to take this? But I made it make sense.
Yeah.
And for some reason it did. It was almost like my mom was there and it was okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't even tell Steve you about this, I don't think, till the next day. It wasn't that big a deal. But to me and John, it was huge. My mother just had her funeral there less than a year ago.
Wow.
So she's there still, and I know she's looking over me, man. But I do wish she could have been here to talk to her about me being sober. It would have been cool.
Yeah.
But I miss her, man. She was special. She was a great woman, great mother, great mother.